Hi, and welcome back. My name is Leonard, and I'm a 2023 University of Georgia Young Scholar here in Tifton, Georgia. In this video, I will continue the interview series introducing you to women in agricultural STEM careers. This is the third video, so if you would go back and watch the first part of this video series and the second part.
It's funny because it started when I was a kid. I was about 11, 12 years old, and my sister is an agronomist, and I would go with her to the university. I would see her working in the lab, and that made me feel that I wanted to learn more about that path, and that's how I decided to go and become an agronomist.
So my interest started because I'm interested in science. Biology specifically, and I figured out I was originally pre-med, but then once I got started in school and then I got a job being from Tifton at the experiment station there, and I realized that I could do science and be outside, and that was very appealing.
Line of work. Well, that's a very good question. I am originally from Brazil. And even though Brazil is a very large country and very big in agriculture, I was not raised in agriculture, but I always loved animals. I always had a passion for animals, but I also knew I did not want to be a veterinarian. But you know, when you're young, you think animals are related to becoming a veterinarian. But then when it was time for me to choose a career and go to college, on my research on all the careers that you can have working with animals, I learned what animal science was, and I found it very interesting, and that's how I ended up there. Then I went to college in Brazil for animal science, and that's how it all started.
I did my bachelor's in agronomy, which is a 5-year degree, and I also got my master's in agronomy, both degrees in Brazil. Then I did my PhD with the University of Arkansas in crop physiology. I also did a postdoc with USDA ARS before I came here to the University of Georgia.
So I have a BS in biology from UGA, and then I got my master's degree in entomology at UGA, and then went on to NC State and got my PhD in entomology.
Cool. So yes, I have a bachelor's degree in animal science from my home country in Brazil, at the São Paulo State University. And then, that's when I was first introduced to research. I had the opportunity to work on my own research project as an undergrad, and that's where I really learn about research and everything that entails, like science and all that. And then I was like, oh, I really want to follow my career in academia. So then I knew I needed to pursue a master's, and then after doing a master's, like, well, I really want to continue in academia, so I went and pursued a PhD. So I have a master's and a PhD, so bachelor's, master's, and PhD in animal science. The master's and PhD from the University of Florida, focusing on beef cattle nutrition or ruminant nutrition in general.
Okay. It's interesting. I think I would suggest that you identify or think about areas that you like, and then try to reach out to people that work on those areas and check the type of activities they do, and if you're able to follow some activities, just to make sure you really enjoy doing that, and just follow that path.
I would say, first of all, figure out that this is what you want to do, and if this is your passion, pursue it. And then the biggest thing I would say to anyone is just work hard.
The main thing is to work hard, and don't focus in just one option. Know that the world is pretty big. There are many options out there. Don't settle for what people tell you that you should be or you should do. Follow your dreams and your passion, and just try it out. There's so many things, there's so many possibilities out there. And now, mainly speaking, if there's an interest in agriculture, since this is my field, agriculture is such a vast field, and so if right now, if you want to be where I'm at in agriculture, just know that there's so many opportunities out there. There you can be whatever you want in agriculture. And the best thing in agriculture, you have a very big responsibility, which in my mind, I came into this, one of our biggest responsibilities is to feed the world. And if that's what you want, if you have even a slight interest in there, just work hard to, maximize your full potential, and you're gonna get there.
There are several different things that I like about my job. I get to meet different people from different cultures. I get to interact with students. I'm learning every day, so being a researcher, being a scientist, you have to learn a little bit every day because new things are always, coming up, so it's the nice part.
Well, the part I said about what got me interested in this was being able to do science and be outside, so that is the initial attraction of this role. But I love the people. The company I work for is a great place to work, and the people I work with make all the difference in the world.
Well, like I said, I'm an extension specialist. So in a land-grant university, so we have research, extension, and teaching. My position does not include any teaching, so it's mainly extension and research, but the majority is extension. So 80% of my appointment is extension and 20% research. So I think what I enjoyed the most is the extension, not only because it's the majority of my job, but also because it's where I get to go out there and deal with the people, like to help producers to become their best, to strengthen their operations, and ultimately strengthen the beef cattle industry, which is, my passion. That's, I guess, dealing with people and producers alike in beef cattle.
I knew since the beginning, I knew I wanted to be a scientist. I knew I wanted to be in academia, but I didn't think that I would work in the US. I thought I would be a professor at a university in Brazil or something related to academia, maybe do science in Brazil, but not here. And getting that opportunity was really amazing for me.
I feel like what I started out as a cotton entomologist in row crop, and now I'm doing turf and ornamental work with a focus on nematicides from a biology perspective. So yeah, it's real different than what I thought my career path would be, but you just have to learn how to pivot. And you can, go any direction as long as you have an interest in the work that you're doing.
I guess there's always, sometimes you set a plan of things that you want to do a certain way, and you make your plan and you believe that you're going to be given free reins, and to do whatever you want, and mainly like you believe a certain way of doing things, and you say, oh, this is the best. I think that's the best for what I expect, the outcome to be. But then you're faced with, rules and bureaucracy and things that are just not really what you had hoped. And that can be frustrating sometimes, mainly, in the university system, there's a lot of things that you need to follow, and not necessarily you can do everything you want at the time you want. That can be frustrating, but you learn to navigate that. And as long as you do everything with passion, everything finds its place and fits.
Your research. I would say that, of course, we have small impacts because we work closely with growers, so we have that type of impact, trying to improve peanut productivity in management in general. And I don't say that only about my research, but everybody in the peanut team here with the University of Georgia. But I think the career I have took me places that I didn't expect to be. For example, I was a teacher at a university in Italy for 2 months, and that's because we have a collaboration with a university in Italy. So I think those opportunities that we have make things more attractive and fun.
that is a question they asked me when I was interviewing for this job. You know, why do we need to hire you and not someone else? What can you offer us? Well, I think an extension specialist, we have tailored or custom solutions for different situations. So, for example, I can easily give you a recipe of a one-size-fits-all for a problem that you have, that I can open a book and Google and do that, but anybody else can do it, right? Anybody that can Google or read a book on science or something can do that. But the extension specialist, I like to see us as problem solvers that I can easily do that one-size-fits-all, but we can give you customized answers to your specific problem that can be different from your neighbor, and your neighbor will give you a different answer, for example. Because we've been in so many situations and we've seen so many different things as extension specialists, because people come to us with different problems, that we're able to, you know, get all the knowledge together and tweak the book answers to help people with their different situations. So I think that's one of the superpowers of the extension specialist, you know, give custom and tailored solutions to different problems.
You know, like we talked about earlier, find something that you're interested in and pursue it, but be open-minded about what you're doing. So we talked about working hard, but also be open-minded so that you can pivot and switch gears if you need to go a different direction with your career and enjoy what you do.
Again, I think that you need to follow your dreams, follow what you believe in, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise, that, you know, you cannot do something or you need to do something to please someone. Make sure you're always following what you believe and believe in yourself, work hard, and just, you know, do your best. Go above and beyond for you to be able to show and maximize your potential on everything that you can do. And as long as you're able to do that, I believe anybody can be whatever they want and get anywhere they want to, as long as we work hard for it. So.
Now that you know a little more about these women, I hope that you will acknowledge the opportunities that you have in agricultural STEM careers. If you would, please provide feedback in the comment section below. Goodbye.